In today's news, Ripple's master plan to replace Swift has just been revealed, and it has been in motion for years and years now. To start off, we can see this post from Edward Farina about a practical guide to Arab central banks by the Arab Monetary Fund, a document that is discussing the future of CBDCs and that Ripple, RippleNet and XRP could be a solution alongside the likes of GPI, TransferWise, Swift and many more. So this is a connection to Ripple and the Middle East that's very important, but as we can see at the bottom down here, Ripple 2020, why all central banks must take action. This has in fact been in motion for at least 3 to 4 years, but this is barely scratching the surface. As showcased in this post from Jack the Rippler, the central bank of Russia, the most powerful of the BRICS alliance, has been successfully testing XRP for cross-border settlements. Ripple and XRP have been mentioned numerous times, and Russia's President Putin and the BRICS alliance have already made it perfectly clear that they will not be using the Swift system due to its quote bias towards the US dollar. The BRICS have thrown down the gauntlet, calling out the Swift system for its blatant favoritism towards the US dollar, tagging it as not just unfair but a financial black hole for countries forced to dance to its tune. Basically, every time a country tries to make a move in the global marketplace, it has to pay a premium. So the BRICS won't be using Swift, or the dollar for that matter, and this is again further evidence of XRP and Ripple's master plan to replace Swift. They are already deeply connected to the existing BRICS nations, and more importantly, right now there are over 30 countries that have expressed their desire to join this alliance, effectively agreeing to their agenda to ditch the dollar and the Swift system. As we can see, you've got Afghanistan, Algeria, Argentina, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Belarus, Egypt, and many more. The list goes on. Granted though, this is not the most up-to-date list, as nations such as Saudi Arabia or the United Arab Emirates are already a member of the BRICS starting the beginning of this year 2024. But again, this is barely scratching at the surface of the gravity of the situation, to the speed in which the dollar is falling and Swift along with it. We can see in this video, in this post here from Smoke, from the Swift Sibos event, a very significant annual event where the biggest financial institutions are discussing the future of payments and banking. And listen very closely to what Ripple's role is in all of this.
We think about our business model is that we got to simplify things. We have to take as many players out of the chain as possible. And I think that it caused you to step back and rethink. I think 20 years ago, if you wanted to move money cross border, you automatically think about a nostro and bostro arrangement, getting a correspondent and sort of going down that route. Now, as Charlotte mentioned, Visa has products. Ripple has options. There are myriad options out there to think about how you move money around the world on behalf of your clients. And so that's changed our mindset.
So Ripple had been mentioned specifically by name as a solution to free up all the trapped liquidity in the Nostro Vostro accounts, the big money from the big banks, $27 trillion worth. But that is not all. Again, from the Swift Cybers event, Alenka Grealish says cryptocurrencies like XRP and XLM, so Stellar as well, are going to continue playing an important role in getting that wheel to turn and delivering the internet of value.
So let's overlay adoption of blockchain and digital assets. They've proven value. So part of the first turn, feasibility, certainly. And now we're seeing these use cases get into the bottom of that first turn, economic viability. And there's some exciting initiatives we heard about at Sibos around interbank payments, delivery versus payments, for example, correspondent banking, messaging, cross-border, interbank, intrabank, intra-company, and importantly, when we get to the ESG, the S part, remittances. So lots of interesting energy there. And we're seeing cryptocurrencies like XRP, Stellar Lumens, and stablecoins like USDC playing an important role in getting that wheel to turn and deliver the internet of value.
So with Swift having over 11,000 banks, assets like XRP, who already have connections with most of the biggest banks across the globe, Ripple is already in a prime position to flip that switch and become that bridge currency, making Swift obsolete. We are on the cusp of entering into a utility-driven cycle predominantly led by projects that provide real-world value. For the first time ever, the foundation is being laid for financial institutions to participate in this space. It's a great time to be in crypto, and even more so in assets providing that real-world solutions like XRP. Listen closely.
To date, most of the 3 cycles that we've had generally been driven by hype of one way or another, one sort or another, whether it's ICOs, whether it's DeFi, DeFi summer and NFTs. But the fundamental value behind it was always like a step behind because the tech wasn't actually mature enough. So while there is certainly some speculation still in today's markets of, oh, the Bitcoin halving is coming, or people that are trying to move money out of Russia and China, I think for the first time there's a combination of both institutional adoption and regulatory clarity that we're seeing across much of Europe, Japan, Hong Kong, Korea, the US to some degree. So kind of like the regulatory clarity, which is making institutions much more comfortable with delving into real world assets and the like, but also the technology itself is for the first time ever in a place where I think you can actually build viable applications that are performant, right? So we've solved the scalability problem with various layer 1s and layer 2s. We've reduced the cost to negligible gas fees. We've leveraged account abstraction and the like to make these applications actually usable. We have like robust dev tooling, which makes it easier for people to build. So for the first time, like in the last 6 months, we're actually able to build viable applications across a range of different sectors, and we're really seeing this. So right now, when people are raising money, they're raising money for projects that are actually viable, that have customers that are alive. And I think that's significantly going to affect the trading ecosystem, because I hope it will be more based on actual fundamentals rather than just speculation.
It is Ripple's connections and partnerships, massive, powerful partnerships, may I add, all around the world that will allow them to replace Swift in due time. But again, there is one more huge piece to Ripple's master plan to replace Swift, and that was and is the launching of Ripple's stablecoin on the XRP ledger connected to the Ethereum blockchain. We can hear briefly in this video with Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and MetaCo's Adrian Trekini about this plan from half a year ago. Again, pay very close attention.
I think stablecoins have a role to play because they are efficient. They are adding an efficiency to how money is moving today. And they are, back to my point around transparency, they are trusted in a way that people perceive crypto as less trustworthy in some ways because of volatility. Now, I'm not sure we have gotten to the promised land as it relates to stablecoins. You know, there are stablecoins in the market today that have depegged, and you know, some have recovered, some have at times a couple have gone away in effect. So I think we have to remember this whole industry is still pretty nascent, and I think it's going to continue to evolve. But I do believe that stablecoins have a role to play. I'm bullish on that. You know, one manifestation of that is Ripple has invested and is working with about 10 different governments around the world to do central bank digital currencies. I mean, a central bank digital currency is a stablecoin. It's just issued by the government.
So Ripple, as I've mentioned previously, time and time again, chose the best time to announce this stablecoin. As the lawsuits come to an end, Ripple's influence is already worldwide. Their reach is everywhere. And as this old system, being Swift, but also the likes of Tether, is starting to fail, Ripple is going to step in and save the day. Tether, in the words of Edward Farina, is a house of cards that could collapse at any moment, and a major threat to Bitcoin, which is not good at all, of course. A Ripple stablecoin on the XRP ledger is a strategic move that could be the solution, with Ripple integrated into the core of the global financial system.
It's a strategic move from Ripple, which comes on the perfect moment on time, and I don't think that's a coincidence. Evergrande liquidation is moving on. Tether, I think, has never been in such a weak place as now. In nearly 6 years, the CEO doesn't even come public to give an interview. They have been fined multiple times by the CTFC, so I really see that Tether could unfold as one of the worst black swan events that we have ever seen in crypto. And simultaneously, what a coincidence, Ripple comes with a perfect solution, which happens to be a stablecoin. And they already came with a stablecoin that is interoperable, which I think it's also great to highlight. That's going to be also on Ethereum, which is where most DeFi is sitting at the moment. But by talking to some people in Paris, it looks like they really want to expand this stablecoin to multiple blockchains. So definitely going to scale up. We just combine two booming topics, which is stablecoin and interoperability. And then you add on top of the equation that Tether is in a very weak position right now. And I think that's the great recipe for success in the XRP ledger, especially with the AMMs right now playing out. It's live, people are using the technology. Everything is lining up for adoption.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.